Yes. Okay. So again, thank you to accept to be interviewed. And as I told you before, we are doing a study on COVID-19 sports management transformation, and I would like to interview with you as a one member of bias, and as I'm not sure, but I heard that you are working in tech ball as well. Yeah, am I right?
Yes. Hi. So I'm one of the board members of BICE, and I also do work with sport development for or in for Europe at FITEC, which is the International Federation for of Techball.
Great. So I think somehow you face some, problems or challenges because of this pandemic.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So I should jump right into the questions. And the first question is, what kind of changes pandemic brought to sport in your own professional experience? And what is absolutely new in the sports industry because of COVID-19?
Yeah, that's a big question. What I've seen that the first and foremost impact that the pandemic is having currently still is the fact that people can gather in most countries, and we see big sport events, multi-sport events being cancelled. The biggest example is the Olympics, for example. And this is true for all the sports, and also for grassroots sports like BICE. Now that we have a lockdown in Hungary, we've had to cancel our planned events for November. This is the second lockdown. We had one in March. It's true for tech ball as well. National championships have to be cancelled, and the world championships postponed. And this has a profound impact since multi-sport events, if you're not talking grassroots, is a source of income for athletes, for sponsors, for anyone in the sports business, and due to this, people have to rethink and reorganize, and sport federations have to develop new strategies, and people have to cut back. Because it's affecting everyone globally, there's a bigger understanding and there's a bigger cooperation happening. So basically, people help each other. Budgets can be rewritten. On a day-to-day basis, this means that we move meetings to the online sphere. There is an increase in social media, in a sense. Esports are growing due to this because people are more likely to stay at home. So I think the sport industry, though impacted hard, is coming up with ways to change and adapt. And once the pandemic is over, I think there's going to be a big drive to hold all the events, and people are going to give 110% to celebrate the fact that we can do what we did before.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I think you already mentioned some about the second question, because the second question, it was about this pandemic is hopefully temporary. But do you think, are there any fundamental effects of the COVID-19 on sports that will stay maybe after the end of this pandemic?
Good question. I guess we will be more prepared
Mm-hmm.
for a situation like this, because we'll know it.
Yeah.
There will be practical changes at venues, I assume. How people gather and what health and safety guidelines there will be. And the fact that we use more online tools, everyone gets more accustomed to them. And I think that's not going to go away. So I think people learn new skills, and this will show in one way or another, which is probably a good thing in the sense that many international federations are old because the sports are old.
Yeah.
And they might have. I'm not judging. I'm just saying it happens that people get into a routine, and it's always been like that. And basically, getting into a challenging time like this, you have to change. And maybe it's been good for some international federations to rethink, to go online, to think about, how are we going to do our competition calendar, what ways are there to record stuff, so on. This has been easier for perhaps sports that are not Olympic sports, but because they are used to looking at their events as branding and as a promotion. From a grassroots perspective, I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure what's gonna stay. But it's definitely a transforming period.
Yeah. Exactly, you're right. We cannot, I think, anticipate anything for the future right now. Yes, okay. And then the next question is about COVID-19 outbreak and, these restrictions. Do you think these restrictions give an opportunity to develop and deploy new technologies in sports? If yes, how may this fact be used by some sport managers to turn it into an advantage?
Well, can you give me an example, or in what sense are new technologies developed?
For example, maybe as you said, more meetings and some, I don't know, workshops. They went online, all online. So so I think technology and social media now these days are play a crucial role in this concept. So maybe this is a good opportunity. This time is a good opportunity for some technology to be, emerge, something like that. And for you as a person, you are in charge of, sport, and you're working in bias and tech ball as well. So how may these facts be used to, turn into an advantage?
I'm not sure if there's any tangible I can think of, more than the fact that because people are restricted, Again, they need to adapt, and that could help, especially people who are, if you're thinking on not only sport managers but athletes who are used to moving, basically physical activity, whatever that is, or whatever sport there are. They're now usually restricted in movement because you have to stay at home, you have to wear a mask or whatever. So they are forced to use their creativity and maybe think of other ways to move. They do want to sports managers or personal trainers, so on. They need to well, sport managers need to whatever sector they're working in, need to support whoever they are supporting. What I wanted to say is that, for instance, personal trainers usually need to do live classes online, maybe something that they haven't done. They need to edit videos more, so on. They have to be creative about it because everyone is online. So you want to be competitive, you want to promote yourself. So the bottom line is, I think creativity evolves, and whoever is willing to try new ways, whatever it is, to connect to people, to come up with a new agenda, to develop an app, so on. Those will find it easier with the restrictions, and at the same time develop themselves, and by that they hopefully develop whatever organization they're working for.
Yeah, and because you are working in a Tekball Federation, so do you use any new technologies in these days? I mean, to arrange a competition or for supporters or something like that?
I wouldn't say new, no. I would just say we use it more. I mean, for federations, it is a bit. I mean, you have to have the sport, so you have to be able to play, and if you can't play, there is no way around that. So athletes need to play. What we can do and what we're trying to do is develop, the education we give, work on the communication we have, encourage participation, and trying basically marketing and promotion, putting more emphasis on that. And at the same time trying to remember and have people remembering that there are so many ways of moving. This will come to an end, and they should stay safe and take care. So all this is a message that we're trying to give. And I think we're using existing technology, really, but we might be using it more and to its full potential. Maybe that's not the right word I'm looking for, but you might get the point.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And the last question is about what kind of opportunities for sports management and marketing, because I heard that you mentioned marketing in your speech, and are brought by pandemic. Are there any positive points at the intersection of COVID-19 and sports?
Again, could you repeat the question?
Sure. I ask you what kind of opportunities for sports management and marketing are brought by pandemic. Do you think, are there any positive points at the intersection of COVID-19 and sports?
Well, what I've mentioned already, I think that, or so I feel like I already answered this question in one way or another.
Yeah, I think you mentioned about marketing. Yeah.
Yeah. But so positive effects of COVID-19 and intersection of, so at the intersection of I don't think,
COVID-19 and sports. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure. It would be much better to not have COVID-19, obviously.
Yeah.
But since we have it, we have to take away what's positive, and we have to transform whatever is affected, and we have to plan for the future. So again, it's just the fact that we remain creative, that we use technology more, that we find better ways to communicate. So this time should be time for reflection as well, and supporting each other. And this is true for all organizations. Yeah, sorry, I really don't know what else to say.
Great. That was great. Thank you. Yeah, that was great. Thank you, Vanya. I know you were tired and, but I think it was great for me because I got lots of, keywords on your speeches. So that was great. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to repeat myself. I am a bit tired and I should have read the questions beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I was thinking about this. Maybe I could send you the questions, but my friend told me that it's better that you don't send the question. I say okay. Yeah, but it was great. Thank you, and I just want your confirmation that you get this your permission if we use your name in our research, because maybe we need to write your name. And is it okay for you to mention your name in our study if they ask us to mention the interviewee's name?
Yeah, you can mention my name, but could you then say what in relation to what you mentioned it?
Okay, about the questions, about the interviews, they asking, maybe it's just a possibility. Sometimes the editors or reviewers, they ask that you should send us your full interviews and the name of interviewee. So on that case, maybe we need to send them. But this is maybe 5%. It's not so high percent.
Yeah, sure. But if that happens, then let me know, please, and then we can.
Sure, definitely. Yes. Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Barney, and
No,
sorry for
and
taking your time.
no. And how are you, or what have you been up to?